Yo, what's good, my fellow Magic Knights? It is your boy DEADMANVINCE back with yet another JJK Fantasy Parade video. Today, I'm going to be going over what red characters you should be working on for in the future, whenever all the mono content, all that stuff comes out. And yeah, I'm just gonna be really quick with this one because this one has a lot more characters than the blue video and than the yellow video. So I'm gonna try to be very concise with each character and not take up too much of your time here, because if I do, we'll be here for like 2 hours of some shit. Let's get right into it, Magic Knights. First character you're going to want to look at is going to be Inumaki. He is a rare character, so you absolutely have him right now, unless you literally just made an account. That's the only way you don't have this man. But if you've done like 2 or 3 summons, you probably got this man. The same way that SR characters can evade you, rare characters cannot do the same shit, bro. Like, you are getting a rare character every summon. You probably have this man. So, why is he important? He is important because of his skill 3. Typically, rare characters are important for like 1 skill, sometimes 2, but like 1 skill. It's just like a little gimmick type of deal. But right here, this Inumaki is just really good because he has a 95% chance to stun on his skill 3, and literally, you give it like, let's see, you can get all the way up to level 3 skills without using the SR skill upgrade material. So with just basic skill upgrade materials, you can get this man's stun chance over 100% to 108.6%. Then, if you can get even further here, before you have to use the SSR crystal, you can get this man up to 142.6% chance to stun an enemy. And then if you get him to level 10, it's 156.2%, which is a very high chance to stun the enemy. The reason why, and if you guys are just hopping in on this video, or if you've seen the other videos, who cares? Basically, the way that I do these lists is I organize the characters in a way where I'm just like, if you have him, yeah, go for it. The reason why he's like, if you have him, yeah, go for it, is because you start off the game literally with a green Fushiguro, and green Fushiguro has a stun chance on his skill 2 and on his ultimate, and both of those stun chances go above 100%. So you can work on him if you want to. You can work on this Inumaki if you want to, because I think the stun chance on this goes higher than Fushiguro's skill 2 stun chance. I think the stun chance is just higher on Fushiguro's ultimate, and he has 2 stun chances, instead of just 1. But even still, if you're struggling and you need like a red character, then Inumaki is going to be the guy for you here. His ultimate really don't do that much. It just does 958% Jujutsu damage to a selected enemy, but of course he's a rare character, so his Jujutsu stat is going to be really low, and it sacrifices 15% HP. Another reason why this Inumaki is, if you want to, type of character, because he sacrifices HP on every single skill. This skill right here also fills an ally's ultimate gauge by 213.1%, so nothing to scoff at, a very good thing, and then decreases all allies' damage received by 43% for 2 turns. So that's actually a really good skill too, but it costs a little more than the stun move, and typically you're literally just spamming the stun move with this Inumaki. I've not seen anybody use this Inumaki in a comp where they've legitimately tried to use him as a supporter. I've only seen him in comps where people are using him to stun, and if the stun doesn't work, the run probably ain't working. But other than that stun, there ain't really much else about Inumaki that's that impressive. I mean, like I said, the skill 2 is okay, but let's move on to the next character. The next character is going to be Red SR Nanami. He is actually a really good buffer. He's actually a somewhat decent damage option, believe it or not. Nanami is typically do hybrid taijutsu and jujutsu damage to enemies. The reason why this Nanami is really good and you want to work on him is because on his skill 2, if you get it to level 10, he increases his own damage by 45.8%, which does end up with him doing pretty solid damage, especially considering that this skill stacks up to 4 times. But then you also see that he can increase all allies' damage dealt by 34.4%, which is also very, very good. So if you combo him with somebody like SR Yaga, or something like that, all of a sudden your buffs are looking really insane for your team, and he can buff himself up a little bit and give himself that extra little bit of damage. He can also hit black flashes, which also up his damage too. So like, he's low-key got the damage built in. What is he classified as? A supporter or a buffer? He's classified as support. But yeah, no, he has the attacks for sure. Like, he can do the damage sometimes. He surprises me. I am consistently surprised by the damage that Nanami does, considering that I'm just trying to use him as a buffer, right? His skill right here is going to be, again, another combo taijutsu, jujutsu move. But sometimes it can do pretty solid damage for you. Then right here, level 10 on his ultimate. Deals melee combined damage 499%, 500% taijutsu, 500% jujutsu to a selected enemy, and increases all allies' damage by 27.8% for 2 turns. So, this, if you're doing this all the damn time, right, can keep you doing this, stack this up like 4 times, 3 times, whatever, all of a sudden you pop that ultimate, and then you're getting even more damage dealt on top of the damage dealt you were already getting. And then all of a sudden you're hitting really hard. And honestly, with his ultimate, the damage dealt buff, like, he gets that instantly, I believe, when he starts to do his ultimate. So he hits pretty good numbers with his ultimate. Like, this man's never disappointed me with his ultimate, I don't think, because I never expect damage from his ultimate. So when it doesn't damage anybody, I'm not, you know, upset. But I have been pleasantly surprised by his ultimate multiple times. But he's not here for the damage, he's here for the buff. But the damage is a nice little extra piece. Recovers own and combo allies cursed energy by 10. I always like units that can either A, boost HP, or B, boost cursed energy. If you're already a character that can boost, you know, HP like Shoko, then I'd rather you boost cursed energy right here. So it's good that Nanami does boost cursed energy, even though he's not healing, just because, you know, it gives you that capability to do more moves, you know. Deals combined melee damage equal to 50% taijutsu and 50% jujutsu to selected enemy. And also, guys, the more you get dupes for a character, the higher that this goes up, and I think this one goes higher as well. But like, this is 10 right here. I think that's just at level 1. So like, it can go up by 2 or something like that every time Nanami gets a dupe. So then by the time he's 5 out of 5, all of a sudden Nanami is getting recovering 20 cursed energy for himself and his allies. So pay attention to the dupes and stuff like that as well. That's another reason why I'm kind of like, yo, do this, because he's an SR and it's easier to dupe him, and it's easier to get effects like these as well up. And stats, obviously. Next up, we have the man, the myth, the legend, the sorcerer killer himself, the dastardly Toji Fushiguro. Fushiguro. I always say Goro, like this is an O, it's a U. Guro. Okay. Basically, he has no curse energy. He functions in a similar way as Maki. He is a heavily restricted character. His skill 1 is going to decrease an enemy's crit hit resistance by 22.5% for 3 turns, so that can stack up to 3 times, which can make everybody else crit insanely. And he also deals 298% melee taijutsu damage to a selected enemy. This, and guys, we're now bordering in the, well, honestly, Nanami was a definitely work on. I feel like it was kind of, you know, like this point on, from now on, is like, yo, absolutely work on these characters, absolutely summon for these characters. So this Toji is going to come during the half anniversary. He's going to come alongside, not beside Young Gojo, but literally in the third part of the celebration. He's going to pop a Toji out for a banner. So he is a really good character. For the half anniversary, like, that's why the half anniversary is crazy, because you're not saving just for Young Gojo. You're not saving for Geto. I don't know. I'm not even going to summon for Geto. You're saving for Young Gojo and Toji, because those two are absolute monsters, absolute menaces. I already went over Young Gojo on my mono yellow video, so check that one out. But Toji's DPS is so stupid. This skill right here hits really hard. Deals 496.2% taijutsu melee damage to a selected enemy 3 hits, and it reduces. This skill nullifies any reduced damage received effects. So if somebody has damage nullification, or not damage nullification, but like reduced damage received, he is ripping through that. He does not care. Not only is he ignoring your critical hit resistance, but this man can just ignore reduced damage received. Nah, you taking all this shit, buddy. Then third skill, increases own break damage by 255.6%. That is some crazy break damage right there, guys. Now, in the last few videos, you would see that I've been talking about I'm taking a lot more pride in break unit. 255.6% break damage? That seems like a damn near guaranteed break. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Then removes attack nullification and 1 removable buff from the selected enemy. So, fuck Gojo, basically, is what this says. Recent buffs are prioritized. So whatever the latest buff the enemy got is the buff that gets taken away. Then deals 195.4 close range taijutsu damage to a selected enemy, 2 hits. Then I really like his ultimate because it's an AoE. Dude, I love AoE skills that do big damage. I love killing all the enemies at the same time. I don't like picking one at a time. Like, no, I like to get rid of everything at the same damn time. I like to focus everything at the same damn time. Ultimate. Removes attack nullification and 1 removable buff from all enemies. Then deals 1600 ranged taijutsu to all enemies. increases own and combo allies taijutsu damage by 10% for 3 turns. I don't know that I've seen a turn limit on this before. But this is crazy because that would mean that typically when you do a combo skill and you get that buff from a character, that buff lasts for the time you're doing that combo skill or that turn maybe, right? But if this says 3 turns, that means that afterwards your taijutsu is just gonna be crazy anyway, which is, I mean, it's only 10%. But if you get him to 5-star, it might be 20%. Deals 100% range taijutsu damage to all enemies. Okay, let's see. Yep, percentage for combo effect can be increased with dupes. A detailed view of what dupes do for each character will be added in the future. How old is this wiki? How long has it said that? Anyway, auto skill. Oh my gosh. Auto skills. Physically gifted. At the start of a battle, increases own taijutsu by 50%. Goodness. Recovers own HP by 3.5% every turn. Reduces own damage received by 15%. Evades single target attacks with a 20% chance. Grants guaranteed hit immunity to self. So he can't be hit by or you're not guaranteed to hit if it's a domain, I think. Cannot be targeted by some skills and statuses. Okay, so he's cloaked from some things. When critical hit is performed, grants guaranteed hit status to self with a 50% chance. Activates on the next skill used. So this is actually super beefy. This is like heavenly restriction right here. Basically. This right here, I think I'm getting my edge back now. This is when he starts fighting, or this is when he like stretches his arms while he's fighting Gojo. So, when critical hit is performed, increases own taijutsu by 15%, 3 turns, cannot be stacked. That sucks. If that didn't say cannot be stacked, whoo. But honestly, he already has an overpowered kit. So it makes sense. But, if they let this sit, while the previous effect is activated, when critical hit is performed, increases own taijutsu damage by 25% instead. And if the 25% taijutsu buff is activated, removes the 15% taijutsu buff. So if you literally have this effect right here and you crit, you get the 25% chance buff instead, and then it will remove this. I don't understand how that's working though, because the shit can't be stacked. I mean, I guess, yeah, it's whenever you do a crit. So yeah, it does make sense. So what it's saying is it can't be stacked, but rather it would just be replaced with whatever it is at the time. So I imagine that if you did a crit on an enemy, you would increase your own taijutsu by 15%, and then within those 3 turns, if you did another crit on the enemy, it would jump up to 25%, and if you did another crit within those 3 turns, I think it would stay at the 25 until it just ran out, and then you would just hit the 15% again, right? That's how I'm imagining that. But guys, this Toji is an absolute monster DPS. The only thing that Yuta has over this Toji is the fact that Yuta can heal your entire team. Toji heals himself, so he's a bit selfish, but Yuta can heal everybody 3 times. So that's what makes Yuta so good, and that's what puts him over this Toji, and I guess that's spoiler for the list because Yuta is higher priority than Toji, and Yuta's out right now. I bet I just threw you for a loop though, because the next character is actually not Yuta. Yes, I am saying that Masamichi Yaga is a more important character to work on than Toji, because Masamichi is going to be one of the best damn buffers in the game until this day, until the SR version of him SSR version of him comes out. And even still, the SSR version pretty much has this buff built into his passive, but it doesn't stack for 4 turns. So this Yaga is still pretty evil because this can stack up to 4 times. Like literally nothing else matters. This buff is so damn good. He's insane just for this alone. I mean, this matters because these are debuffs, and these debuffs are actually really good. This debuff right here increases the selected enemy's damage received by 47.6% for 2 turns. This one decreases selected enemy's taijutsu damage, jujutsu damage, and increases their received damage by 49.7%. So these debuffs are good, but I mean, this is what you're here for, tutoring. This buff is insane, phenomenal. It stacks up to 4 times. Makes Gojo look like a god, and Gojo already makes himself look like a god. So the fact that he can make Gojo look even godlier than a god level that Gojo's already at is impressive in itself. This Yaga will be used everywhere eternally on the global version until the yellow SSR Yaga comes out, and I wholeheartedly stand by that. Literally, whenever Blue Momo comes out, the Blue Momo I talk about, I don't think people are going to be replacing this Masamichi. People are going to be replacing Nanami on their team, and then keeping Masamichi, because Masamichi's buff is that good, bro. You feel it. You know it's there. Pause. But like, His buff is just absolutely incredible. Increases on and combo allies break damage by 10% for 2 turns as well, so the break damage helps. 100% taijutsu damage. No auto skills because he's an SR character, or just no auto skills because it's just a non-popular character. But no, this Masamichi is an absolute menace. Some people, literally when you start your account, you have a redraw ticket, and you literally get Gojo for free. You literally get Gojo for free. So, even though you get Gojo for free, some people will get to a point where they're a week down in their gameplay, and they're just like, damn, I still don't have a Masamichi. And it's like, dude, it's because the damage that your units deal is just so starkly different from when Yaga is there versus when he's not there. And he's an SR character, and he can elude you. So, I'm not saying go balls deep summoning for Yaga, but as soon as you get Yaga, work on that kid. Because if you do, you will get so many good benefits from it. And your account will be able to get into so many places that you could not get before. But now is the time for the man, the myth, the legend. He was already teased in this video. Bruh's Yuta. Get this damn character. Bro, do you understand that I went 18, when I did my YouTube video, I did 500 summons amongst my account and all the free-to-play accounts. On my own account, I had 1,800, or no, not 1,800. I did 18 multis. So I'm 7 away from pity. And you know what? Even though I got shafted from Yuta, literally during that stream, my energy kind of started to pick back up. Because I was like, yo, even though I got shafted, I never owned Yuta in the JP version. And honestly, in the JP version, because I don't spend money on the JP version, I've never been to a point where I can hit pity in the JP version. So low-key, that sorrow, even though y'all couldn't tell, kind of turned into like happiness. Because I was like, yo, like, I've never been able to guarantee I would get a character on this game ever. And like, this is the first time I can. So like, and I think Yuta's that good. The point of me saying that is that Yuta's that good. What unit is so good that you go 18, or not even 18 multis? At the point that I'm at now, what unit is so good you go 21 multis deep and you still don't have his ass? And you still happy because you know you're going to have him eventually. What character is that good? Cool. I was waiting for an answer. No character. I'm kidding. I don't know. Whatever gacha game you play, maybe there are characters that are that good to you, but like, bro, who is happy to do 20 summons and not get shit because they know they're just 5 summons away from getting some shit? Like, who is happy about that? No one. Maybe a psychopath. Am I a psychopath? Am I psychotic? Maybe. This skill right here is going to be melee damage, 180%. A pretty good multiplier for a skill 1. This skill right here is Curse Speech. It has a chance to instantly kill the enemy because it's based off of Inumaki's like speech thing, and he says die when he does the Curse Speech shit. But deals 135% Jujutsu to all enemies, so he does have an AoE built in. Good stuff. Decreases all enemies' crit resistance by 15% for 2 turns. And that's just how it's always going to be, the 15%. So, the damage can be improved, but at least your debuff is always, is already at max level for the skill, right? But that's good just because, it's nice to be able to hit crits on everybody, and he's constantly debuffing all of them for that. And the skill only costs 20 energy. I don't talk a lot about how much the energy of the skill is, but like 20 energy is very reasonable. 30 energy is like, damn, that's kind of tough, but 20 is very reasonable. Skill 3 is going to be deals combined damage equal to 137.6% taijutsu and 189% jujutsu, then 172% taijutsu and 258% jujutsu to the selected enemy. The reason why the split up is like that is because Yuta does the first swing and then Rika does the second swing. But the skill does do really insane damage. And speaking of insane damage, this skill's multiplier is 2,000 range damage to all enemies. Blue Gojo's multiplier, to give you guys perspective, is 1,000. And Gojo has a really high, like, cursed energy stat. But so does Yuta. So I'm not going to say Yuta's ult. Does Yuta's ult hit harder? That's a test I had to pull. That's a test I have to do now. Because he increases his own taijutsu and his own jujutsu as well. Which the taijutsu is not going to increase his ultimate damage, but it'll increase everything else. And he's unable to fill his own ultimate gauge for 4 turns. So, this Yuta is an absolute menace. He has like Gojo level damage on his ultimate. He has, I won't say Gojo level damage on these skills. This skill, no. Because Gojo's skill 1 goes to 458%. So like, absolutely no damn way. But like, An AoE with a debuff that debuffs everybody, a strong, 2 strong single targets, and then an AoE ultimate. Like, it's really insane. Increases own and combo allies damage by 10% for 2 turns. This probably goes up to 20% if you get it all the way up. Deals 100% range jutsu to all enemies. And then what's this? Right here. This is what makes you to the GOAT. I won't let you die. At the start of each turn, if an ally's HP is 60% or below and cursed energy is 10 or above, recovers all allies' HP by 25%. So he has 3 times that he can do that. Or it says it right here. I kind of skipped ahead. But up to 3 times he can do that in battle. Excludes self, deals low damage to cursed spirits. Decreases own cursed energy by 10. Increases own taijutsu by 10. Increases own jujutsu by 10%. Fills own ultimate gauge by 200. Up to 3 times in battle. I'm starting to think. Nah, these aren't separate, right? Yeah, because this should be for all. This up to 3 times in battle should be for all of this. It should be all encompassing. I was getting a little confused because this is in parentheses and then it starts off a new thing right here. But I think that's all a 3-turn thing. Then, when targeted by an enemy's melee attack, certain chance to deal 120% melee damage to him. So basically has a built-in counter as well, along with the hills. But guys, that is it for all the red characters you absolutely should be summoning for, working on, looking for. Already have them, get them up, like all those characters I just covered. Now, per usual, we're going to go into the honorable mention territory and talk about some characters who you might be summoning for, who you might have ended up getting, and who could actually be pretty useful to you. So Todo is a crowd favorite. Everybody loves Todo's character in JJK, I believe. I can't even say that because of manga spoilers. But anyway, Todo can hit a Black Flash. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any like Black Flash characteristics. The reason why I say this Todo is a good choice to work on, or is an honorable mention, is because any physical type of character in your account will benefit from Todo standing in front of them. This skill right here, Blast from the Past, increases own and ally behind. So literally, you have your team is set up in 2 and 2. Todo would be like right here, and then the unit to the right of Todo. So if Todo's in the 3rd slot, the unit in the 4th slot. If Todo's in the 1st slot, the unit in the 2nd slot is who's getting this buff. Just so we're clear. Increases own and allies behind, or ally behind's taijutsu damage by 24%, up to 3 times in 3 turns. So this can stack up to 3 times. Very good. Grants the best friend ally to best friend status to ally. So already he's giving them 24% physical taijutsu damage, right? Which is really good for your physical DPSs, right? Best friend status. When the ally with the status is targeted by an attack, it deals 70% taijutsu damage as counter damage, inflicts the confusion status on the countered enemy for 3 turns with a 70% chance. Counter requires 10 cursed energy to activate. Counter will not activate if an ally has evasion status or attack immunity. So this is not why this buff is crazy. This buff is crazy because when you come down to Todo's ultimate here, deals 1048.8% taijutsu damage to the selected enemy, increases own critical hit rate by 39.8% for 3 turns, 1 time, and if an ally has the best friend status, increases the ally's critical hit rate by 39.8%. So that is why he's an honorable mention. Not only can he give the unit right beside him better taijutsu, but he also gives them critical hit rate. And not to mention, if you're running a taijutsu team, you could literally just run Masamichi, Yaga in the front. Like, dude, oh my god, such an evil team. I say Masamichi, Yaga all the time, like they're not the same damn character. Yaga and Nanami in the front, Todo in the 3rd slot, and then put like a red Toji in the back slot. Oh my god, you are cooking with hellfire, bro. Toji's physical damage is going to be skyrocketing because he can get up to, he can get up to 72% extra taijutsu damage right here, along with the crit rate, bro. So Todo can turn any physical DPS into an absolute menace, and honestly, he turns any DPS in general to a menace because he can give this critical hit rate to anybody as long as they're best friend. So I've used Todo in combo with Gojo before, which is kind of stupid because yes, I don't use Gojo's physical skill, but even still, the crit chance helped Gojo to do way more damage whenever I ulted. But that's the caveat to using Todo with a character who's based on cursed energy attacks. They're only really getting a benefit unless it's hybrid attacks that use cursed energy and taijutsu, or you're just using Todo's ultimate to give him that extra crit rate. If you use his ultimate and combo ultimate effect, him and the combo allies' critical hit rate increases by 10%, and their black flash rate increases by 10%, which is very good. Increasing black flash rate as well. And then also, if you get it up to 5 dupes on Todo, this should both be 20%. Typically, stuff that's 10% goes up to 20% when you get a character 5 duped on this. 94.4% taijutsu damage to a selected enemy, and then won't be bored for long. When an enemy is defeated, increases own taijutsu damage by 15% for 3 turns. So if you can just keep killing enemy, and this doesn't stack to a certain point, like you can just keep doing it, right? So if you just keep killing enemies, like if you literally are just like, say you use Todo, or no, that doesn't even say when Todo defeats an enemy. It just says when an enemy is defeated. So imagine using an AoE and wiping everybody out in the room, and then all of a sudden Todo has like 45% boost to his taijutsu for 3 turns, and then you wipe the next room, and then he has another 45%, right? Is that how that works? Because I don't think, I think it would say when an enemy is defeated by Todo. Or I guess, I mean, maybe it does, maybe it is by Todo. It could be by Todo. That seems like it makes more sense, actually. Todo just getting buffs for people killing people in general? No. I think Todo had to do the one doing the killing. But next honorable mention is going to be this Nobara. I've looked over this Nobara before. She seems to function just like the yellow Nobara, except for she has a lot better ways to get the nails out, right? She still has the skill 1 that puts 3 nails on somebody when you hit them with it, and they only last for 3 turns. But then you can mix it up with this skill right here, which increases everybody's nail count by 7 turns. Everybody's nail count by 1 for 7 turns, which is a lot better because Nobara's ultimate used to be Hairpin, right? Now her skill 3 is Hairpin. Which means that you can get that skill off faster, and if you're able to put nails on everybody, as soon as you do Hairpin, it's going to hit everybody that has the nail counter, right? So you can build up the nails faster, you can hit Hairpin faster. This skill is super cheap as well, so you can build them nails up like stupidly fast. Every single turn. Then, right here, because literally the cursed energy that you're gaining every turn is higher than the cursed energy you're like losing out. You get 10 cursed energy every turn, you're losing 5 every turn. So she's going to be able to do that always. This one is 50, but I mean, like, if you have somebody like Kaito on your team or something like that, you can literally just cheese her cursed energy. And then the ultimate deals melee combined damage equal to 399 taijutsu, 512 jujutsu, and increases their nail count. But it always performs a black flash. Okay, good. So the ultimate isn't going to be doing the nail thing anymore like Hairpin does, because Hairpin is the skill 3, but it is going to still be doing a guaranteed black flash, and it's actually going to increase your nail count. So that's really good, because before the ultimate used to take away your nail count because it was Hairpin. Also increases own and combo allies jujutsu damage by 15% for 6 turns. Oh, that's a lot. And then deals melee combined damage equal to 128 taijutsu, 128 jujutsu to selected enemy. No auto skills. Yeah, no auto skills at all, even post adjustment. But yeah, like this Nobara just seems like a solid replacement, like a very competent replacement actually for the yellow Nobara, except for she functions way better. It's a lot more, she's more efficient. She's more efficient in putting out the nails, right? And then I have one more character for honorable mention. This is a free-to-play character. The only reason why I put them as honorable mention is because I think the place that you get this free-to-play character, there's honestly another free-to-play character that's going to come out far into the future, sure. But the amount of coins that you need to get one free-to-play character from this area of the game is 1,500. So quite literally, I would say just don't even pick this character up at the moment. I would wait for a green Mahito to come out in the Phantom Metal Shop so you can get him first, because I feel like Mahito's going to probably do more for your account than Hanami. But if you want to go for Hanami, you can. If you absolutely hate Mahito, if you're one of those kind of guys who hate certain characters and shows, and even when the character in the game is really good, you're not going to summon for or pick up that character because you're just like, man, I hate that motherfucker, right? Then I guess don't get Mahito. That's perfectly fine. I'm not going to tell you how to play, but I'm just letting you know, Mahito's better than Hanami. Just saying. I think Hanami is like a really incredible tank though. A debuffer, but I think that Hanami debuffs so much that it's not really tanking. She just doesn't. Nobody's just gonna take damage. I've seen people do like videos where they're just like, she takes 0 damage, blah 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 blah. Right? So like, let's see. Skill 1, range jujutsu damage on the selected enemy. The higher the enemy's ultimate gauge count, the higher the damage is. Okay, that's not bad. 346 range jujutsu damage. Does this change? 428% range Jujutsu damage to a selected enemy. Then skill 3, Terra Pultra. I didn't know that was the name of that skill. Did she say that in the show when she did it against Yuji and Gojo? It changed. Oh my god, 40 curse energy for a skill. Yucky. But this skill right here decreases all enemies' damage by 33.3%, so that's actually really good. Increases own ultimate move gauge charge rate by 86% for 3 turns. And then ultimate domain expansion, Shining Sea of Growing Branches. Pretty much Solar Beam from Pokemon. Deals 919.2% range Jujutsu damage to all enemies. Expands domain for 4 turns. While domain is active, grants guaranteed hit effect and attack immunity nullification itself. Decreases all enemy damage by 33.1%. Unable to fill own ultimate gauge. Combo ultimate effect. Increases own and combo allies break damage by 8% up to 2 turns. I don't know what that goes up to just because I don't know what it goes up to when it's 8%. I don't know if it scales the same as like the ones that start at the 10%. And then deals 33% range Jujutsu damage to all enemies. Auto skill. Oh, okay. So auto skill at the start of battle recovers 13% every turn. That is actually pretty psychotic right there. Just like no need for a healer. You're just healing yourself. Cool. Healers don't even work anyway because only healer in the game is Shoko, and she heals with reverse cursed energy. At the start of each turn, if cursed energy is 10 or below, recovers own cursed energy by 20 up to 2 times during battle. Then at the start of battle, reduces own damage received by 20%. So what was it before? At the start of each wave, recovers own cursed energy by 10. Oh, dude, such a big buff from this. But yeah, Hanami actually seems really good, but I just think Mahito is going to be better for you. I think Mahito is going to have more noticeable effects overall for you in the runs that you're doing when he's absolutely obliterating every enemy, right? Because it's nice to get Hanami's thing up and have a lot less damage being taken, but if you don't have the damage that you need to destroy the enemies, having phases of the fight where you can't take damage doesn't matter, because eventually you're just going to get back to a phase where you are taking damage again, and then you're just going to get your ass ripped apart. But guys, that is it for my video of red characters that you should work on. I absolutely hope that I did not ramble on too hard. I tried to be as quick and concise as I could be in this video, but if you guys are enjoying these videos, then go down below and absolutely demolish Black Flash, the like button. And if you don't like the videos, I don't care. Good night. Literally have no idea how I forgot. Guys, the last red character you should be summoning for, absolutely. Domain Expansion Gojo. His full kit's not out yet, but just know that when he does Infinite Void, he boosts his turn counters so that he can stay for more than 7 turns actually. He's going to have absolutely insane damage. And he gives like 7 debuffs when he does Domain Expansion. And he can only do basic hits, but it doesn't matter because he's literally ripping through enemies like paper. But that's all the characters that you should work on. And literally, this is for the anniversary. So, like, theoretically, it should be the best banner of the year. I don't know yet, because Gojo's not out yet. I don't know if the banner's going to have, like, Yuta on it and Toji, like, all the limiteds. I don't know. But absolutely safe for Domain Expansion Gojo. I mean, it's Domain Expansion Gojo. Also, just a random thought. Does anybody else notice this Gojo looks kind of gray? Gojo usually looks like a white guy, right? He looks kind of gray right there. But while I have you here also, this is that new mono game mode that I'm always talking about. This is why I'm making these videos for you guys right now. But that's actually it for the video. Y'all guys, save for Domain Expansion Gojo and have a good one.